Well, hello there, Vlad here. Welcome to my studio. Today we're checking out the NUX Amp Academy. I should also mention that I'm bringing this video to you in collaboration with NUX, and I get to keep this unit as compensation for my work. However, all of the thoughts and opinions are purely my own. I really like what NUX has done here because they went with 6 classic amplifiers, so there's like your Fenders and Mesa Boogies and Brown Sounds and things like that. But the basic layout is pretty simple. There's A and B kind of channels, if you will, and then there's 3 different scenes within that channel. So channel A has 3 different scenes as indicated by the LED colors, and then channel B, same thing again. Nice and simple. Before anything else, let's check out all of the inputs and outputs quickly. Well, input lift for the DI out. You can also disable the impulse response if you're, for example, running this into an effects return of your amplifier. Output is, well, output. Then there's also an effects loop here, and they ship you with this clever cable that you plug in here, and oh, come on, boom, you have your send and return, and I think they were labeled here as well. Yes, send and return over here. Kind of clever. USB-C port, I think they shipped with the USB-C cable. If not, you should see the text below. I don't quite remember, to be honest. And the whole thing is powered with DC 9 volts, 500 milliamps. Should be doable for most power supplies. But wait, there's more. There's also DI out here on the side, which is really cool. And these 2 things are aux in, if you want to run some sort of audio into the pedal and kind of route it through there. And headphones out as well. So they basically have kind of thought out pretty much any kind of use scenario you might want to use this for. And to me it feels whoever designed this thing knew what they were doing, which is, I guess, what you hope for when designing something like this. Alright, I've set up. I'm using the Jet JS400, something that I demoed very recently. Links in the cards, by the way, if you want to check it out. Starting with the first channel and vintage amp, I think this is probably some sort of Fenderish thing. Oh yeah, this sounds really good, and I think this is one of the best feeling NUX modelers I've played. I don't know if it's due to the fact that they've partnered with Choptones on this unit, and all of the impulse responses are made by Choptones. Choptones are obviously famous for doing excellent impulse responses, and if you're new to the modeling, those make a huge difference. This sounds good, and it also feels great to play. Nice, let's try out the humbucker. And then just switch to the classic amplifier without touching any of the settings. Oops, I clicked the wrong one. Now I think this is the deluxe. Sounds good. Third amplifier, modern. Put on some gain. Just for the sake of it, I want to switch to a Tele next. Sounds really good and feels good to play. This is very impressive. And let's switch to the other channel and see what happens. CT Fried Friedman type of stuff. I'm not necessarily vibing with this amplifier as much as with the previous three. Let's give this a try and go to red. Again, I think this is probably Soldano based on the cabinet name. And the last one, Iridium. This thing can make my tele chug, so that's kind of cool. Let's try out this one as well. And what's seen is basically a kind of presets within a preset. So we are on channel 1 right now, or channel A to be more specific. And on that channel A, we can cycle through 3 different things where like the effects loop, for example, is engaged, the reverb engaged. On different scene, we don't have the reverb engaged, just the amp and the IR and effects loop. And then this one has noise reduction. There's a drive pedal of sorts, I think. What is it? A Katana boost that we can engage, or which is actually engaged. And then third scene, there's the effects loop that's engaged, and there's also a reverb here as well. And now that we switch to the B channel, again, same thing, 3 different scenes. Can you tell I haven't played that riff in ages? And let's dive to the scene thing a bit more, because I think this is one of the features that takes this little box to the next level, live playing wise especially as well, because you got kind of 2 different amplifiers to choose from, but then there's also 3 scenes within that kind of amplifier preset. And the way you configure it is very simple. First of all, we're on channel B, so to speak. Let's say that's a rhythm tone, so that could be scene number 1. And to make sure we save that, we're just gonna hit save, and now it's saved here, all the changes we made or all the changes we didn't make. Let's say we want to have a tube screen or some sort of effects there as well. Right click here and we can see that we're using T-Scream. Okay, so that's our rhythm tone, for example. And then, again, we need to remember to click save every now and then. If we want to have the same sound or slightly changed sound, but with reverb, for example, we are going to jump to the scene number 2. And then we're going to open up the reverb by right-clicking it. And looks like I have a whole setting here pre-selected, kind of. Sounds good, maybe a bit more level and more decay so it doesn't go out as quick. That's nice. I like that. So we're again going to click save. There you go. And now if we jump between the scenes 1 and 2, the settings we just created are saved and we can scroll through those using this button. Let's say the third scene here would be like a solo boost, for example. We are not using the effects loop right now, so we can take it out. And instead, we want to do some sort of level bump when we hit the scene 3 here. So let's go with that one. And now if we would be playing live, scene 1, drive, scene 2, drive with bunch of reverb, and then the third one is the lead sound, there's a mid bump, and that should cut through well. I think you get the idea at least. And to save everything, just hold the foot switch over here, and once it's done blinking, you're done. And because this is a NUX product, there's always something extra here as well. There's a drum machine and a looper as well here. So I think this will just come out of my speakers, the drum stuff. And there's also a loop as well. I'm not sure if you can operate it with some sort of external foot switch or something like that, but it's there if you want to jam on your computer, for example. So, what do you think of the NUX Amp Academy? First of all, it continues the lineage of this Vertigo series pedals with great build quality. The unit feels really solid. All of the switches and everything feel like they're going to last you a long time, which I always appreciate about NUX. The second thing that I love is that whoever designed this was able to kind of restrain themselves a little bit, in the sense that there's not too many amplifiers to choose from. There's 2 channels, 3 amps per channel, and then there's the scenes thing and stuff like that. Kind of basic stuff done really well, and all of the amplifiers sound good, all of the amplifiers feel good to play, and at the end of the day, those are the things that matter the most. To me, the Amp Academy feels like it's designed by people who have played live a lot and know what the challenges are. And this solves so many of those while maintaining a price that's fairly budget friendly. The unit is very solid. All the I/O stuff is really good, and it's just a well thought out product. So if you're looking for something that does a bunch of classic amplifiers really well, is well built, has all the I/O you might need, plus all of the added kind of functionality and Cs and stuff like that, this is a very solid solution to have. And while to some this might feel limited, I actually love it. I'm not a huge fan of cramming like every single thing into some sort of modular, and then you just get option paralysis and stuff like that. This is versatile enough, but it's also limited enough, and I think that's a really good thing to have. And I guess the last thing to say here is that if you want to get your NUX Amp Academy, there's affiliate links in the description. Using those won't cost you anything extra, but if you use those, I get a small cut from the purchase, and that helps me to put food on my family's table. Thanks. If you got any questions, be sure to ask those in the comments, and like, share, subscribe. Just click all of the buttons on the screen and good things will happen. Thank you for watching. I shall see you next time.